Ferrari is entering 2025 with an extraordinary opportunity to break their 16-year Formula One title drought. They're coming off a good season and now welcome seven-time winner Lewis Hamilton to the team. And apart from that, they're also completely redesigning their car, expecting to be the clear frontrunner when the first race starts in Australia. But will all these changes help them? And what are those changes? Let's have a look at the leaked car design changes for Ferrari in 2025. First, let's dive into the signing of Hamilton, which will bring years of champion experience to the squad. An old teammate, Nico Rosberg, believes Hamilton is highly driven for his Ferrari move following a disappointing final few seasons with Mercedes. He's probably correct too, having been crushed by ex-teammate George Russell in qualifying, frequently leaving him on the back foot before races even began. Ferrari is preparing for a title challenge, and Loic Serra has sought a tweak to Hamilton's first car that could help him improve his qualifying times by regulating tyre temperatures more effectively. The Brit will need all the help he can get now that he's lined up opposite one of the sport's best qualifiers, Charles Leclerc. Hamilton's first public appearance for Ferrari will be at the F175 launch event in February, with fans hoping to catch a glimpse of him wearing red. They've made a bold development decision with their 2025 car, which might propel them over McLaren in the Constructors' Championship race. The season-opening Australian Grand Prix will see them launch a new car with an entirely new idea. A brave move, given that they before had a very fast machine. Speaking with Motorsport Italia, Antonio Guini described the development of the new car as a challenge compared to their competitors who use known designs. For Ferrari instead, the bet is more complicated because it is a new car, according to him. You have to discover the new car and see if the interventions you are making match with the concept of the car or go in the same direction. So, from this point of view of the Ferrari setup, it could become an additional obstacle compared to the others. With the 2026 F1 regulations looming, the upcoming season may be Ferrari's last chance to compete for a championship for some time. Nobody knows what will happen when the cars are overhauled, and the adjustments have the ability to totally reverse the field. Not only that, the new regulations might also bring new unknown problems. It means they must take advantage of the present. Making the brave decision to build an entirely new car may go one of two ways. Team manager Fred Vasseur will be mindful of the risks of such a move, with the chance that going too far could result in problems that cause them to tumble down the pitch. However, if it pays off, it will most likely do so spectacularly, providing them with a memorable year. Few teams want this as much as the Italians do. So, to achieve this, they will make big changes, and of those changes is that Ferrari is revising its front suspension design for its 2025 car as part of a series of improvements that it thinks will result in a first Formula One world title since 2008. Ferrari has not publicly revealed its design plans, but it is likely to use a pull rod layout at the front end. This means it will join a group of teams that included Red Bull, McLaren, RB, and Sauber last year, with the rest using pushrod front suspension. While the choice between a pull or pushrod front suspension configuration is widely regarded as a toss-up in terms of performance potential, it can provide packaging and aerodynamic benefits, and it has been though it allows for a higher front suspension rising rate, allowing for more fine control of ride height and response at the front end. This is due to the front suspension running softer at higher ride heights for traction in slow speed turns, yet stiffer at lower ride heights to provide better stability when required. But that's not all, as Ferrari has reportedly also changed the cockpit position of their car for the F1 2025 season, as the club prepares to welcome new acquisition Lewis Hamilton from Mercedes. It comes after Hamilton complained about his Mercedes cockpit being too close to the front wheels during his farewell season with the team in 2024. Hamilton's return to Ferrari is widely expected to revive the seven-time world champion, with high hopes for Ferrari's F1 2025 chassis, codenamed Project 677, after the team nearly lost out on the Constructors' title last year. And as said before, the 2025 season seems the make-it-or-break-it season for Ferrari, as the new regulations in 2026 seem to shake things up big time. However, F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali has downplayed concerns that future regulation changes will result in significantly slower cars and less competition. This season marks the end of current regulations, with fully new technical rulebooks on the way for the 2026 F1 Championship. The engine rules in Formula One will also change next season, after a 4-year freeze. While the 1.6-litre V6 engine architecture stays unchanged, greater electrification, the use of sustainable fuels, and the removal of the MGU-H all provide substantial new engineering challenges for F1 power unit manufacturers. This is in addition to the resulting chassis and aerodynamic rule adjustments, with adaptive aerodynamics on the way to compensate for how the power units will generate energy down long straightaways. The F1 cars next year are projected to be a few seconds slower per lap than the current machines. But there is a possibility that one team could figure out the new rules faster than the others and steal a march on them, resulting in a period of dominance. This was evident in the current regulations, with Ferrari and Red Bull obviously knowing the ground effect laws more than the others. While Ferrari's performance was later neutralized by a technical mandate aimed at preventing the aerodynamic phenomena known as porpoising, which expressed itself in extreme bouncing down the straights, Red Bull went on to dominate all but one race in 2023. However, the stable regulations allowed for convergence, with up to 4 teams contending for wins on any given weekend in 2024, and the close competition is projected to continue this year. The rule change may result in more field spread, but F1 chief Stefano Domenicali is unconcerned about the long-term impact of the regulations change on the sport. Domenicali said that while a team or two may dominate early in the rules cycle, he is certain that convergence will occur swiftly. When there is a new regulation, it is always like that, according to him. I don't forget that when the 2022 regulations were introduced, the teams were complaining that the single-seaters would be 6 seconds slower. We arrived, in 4 years, at a very strong convergence. Now we start again with a different regulation, with many new challenges and different things to fine-tune. At the beginning, we won't have this kind of gap. It would be unrealistic to think that. But the way the F1 2026 regulations are designed, the convergence will come. The regulation revisions have enticed other manufacturers to join, with the Volkswagen Group joining through its Audi brand, which has recently completed its full ownership of the Sauber team, and GM preparing to enter in 2026 with a brand new Cadillac entry. Honda will also return as an Aston Martin power unit maker, while American behemoth Ford has joined Red Bull's powertrain project. Domenicali stated that he isn't worried about the future of Formula One, given the presence of such huge names and the prospect of rapid convergence. There are many themes that will develop, he said. It is normal that, from the team's point of view, there is a conservative approach. Several new constructors are coming in, favored by these technological changes that serve to keep the evolutionary and positive tension of those who see our formula as a development platform for the future. We need to look at the whole picture and not the detail. We need to think big. With this season shaping up to be a barnstormer, with numerous teams appearing potential of winning the championship, Red Bull chief Christian Horner feels the key modifications will result in winners and losers. Formula One is very good at that, changing the rules just as things are getting spicy, Horner joked to the media back in Abu Dhabi. I mean, 2026 is the biggest reset in probably the last 60 years of Formula One, where both powertrain and chassis are changing, but that's the same for everyone. There will be winners and losers from that. First of all, 2025 is where the focus will be. This seems to be the same for Ferrari, and seeing all the changes coming up, it's most likely that 2025 is their biggest chance to claim some silverware. What do you think? Will Ferrari be successful in 2025? And will Hamilton or Leclerc win the Drivers' Championship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.